Catastrophic Necromancer. Chapter 4436. You should finally perish. Lin Moyu heard the roar, felt the West Pole Pure Land tremble. His gaze remained calm, not the least disturbed. So you've sensed it. Good timing saves me from hunting you down. The sentient chaos, divine water, contained the obsession of the chaos, divine water beast. These obsessions were scattered throughout the Pure Land, seemingly independent, but in truth they formed one body. Touching one trigger set off the whole diseased system. When Lin Moyu burned away a sliver, he enraged every obsession at once. Instantly, countless obsessions, wrapped in chaos divine water, charged toward him. Simultaneously, the chaos divine water beast halfway along its return from the dead roared, and charged as well. In Lin Moyu's view, sheets of silvery light appeared. Each was a patch of chaos divine water. Some gathered together, forming one illusory chaos divine water beast after another. All these obsessions now joined, their souls growing more powerful. But to Lin Moyu, it was nothing. Little Tree, having refined enough chaos divine water, now completely ignored its dissolving property. His roots pierced the void, intercepting the chaos divine water and preventing any approach. Chaos Child expanded his inner world, devouring chaos divine water with all his might. If he waited for Little Tree to be done, there'd be nothing left to steal. The chaos divine water transformed, forming huge silver beasts that roared. Their bodies shifted from liquid to solid, turning instantly into silver giants. With hardened bodies, space slipped, and locked Little Tree could no longer instantly cut through to strike the soul. His branches thudded against the creatures' bodies, producing the sound of iron being struck. Once the chaos divine water's dissolving might was restrained, its threat dropped dramatically. High level as it was, Little Tree could not break it completely, but neither could it pass his defenses. Lin Moyu swept out his hand, sending a flood of world-devouring fire broad enough to set half the sky ablaze. The fire targeted the soul, no bodily strength could resist it. He heard faint screams from within these silver beasts' souls engulfed, their agony driving them from the bodies they controlled. World-devouring fire was the soul's nemesis. It never let Lin Moyu down. The obsessions that remained, even shrouded in chaos divine water, posed no threat in the face of this flame. More obsessions, wrapped in chaos divine water, charged in only to be blocked by a wall of fire. As the chaos divine water massed, Lin Moyu carefully managed his inferno, not too large or too small. Too fierce and the obsessions would scatter, too weak and they'd break through. He was waiting for them all to arrive, so he could wipe them out in one sweep, so the fire could feast. The core region was vast. It took time for all the obsessions to gather, but Lin Moyu was in no rush. He kept scorching the first arrivals. The obsessions screeched in agony, increasing the fury of those who had yet to arrive. With new sentience, they knew the fire was terrifying. They huddled outside its reach, but didn't dare leave, encircling Lin Moyu and company. They weren't idle. Their collective aura emerged, driving chaos divine water to crush Lin Moyu under immense pressure. He endured far more than usual, but Little Tree shrugged it off, having developed immunity after swallowing so much chaos divine water. Curious onlookers arrived. Some West Pole experts kept their distance, simply observing from afar. To them, chaos divine water was a threat. Seeing so much gathered, they were shocked. Seeing it held at bay by fire stunned them even more. What is that fire? Chaos divine water doesn't work. It's bizarre. That fire must target souls, hence the beast's obsession can't push through. How strange, the man seems only chaos minor completion, but moves unscathed here. They saw Lin Moyu, noticed his level, and grew suspicious. Suddenly someone called, "The divine water beast is coming." In the distance, dazzling silver sparkled. A beast radiated killing intent, treading atop chaos divine water. Wherever it went, Torrential rain poured chaos divine water, cascaded down in waterfalls. Lin Moyu saw the beast, muttering, "The real one's here at last." After the ancient war, the beast was mortally wounded. Souls scattered, only fragments remained as seeds for rebirth. Its resentment and anger became a curse, lingering as obsession. Its resentment was imprisoned in the desolate zone, caught by the core's seeking ring and karma. Its obsession spread through the core, fragmenting and reforming into sentient groups wrapped in chaos, divine water. There remained a seed, fueled by faith, chaos, divine water, and the pure land's power, slowly restoring the beast and letting it step onto the path of rebirth. But the supreme Xinquan had snuffed out that hope now. No chance remained. Still, if it could reabsorb all its obsession and resentment, it might regain some strength, though not like before, at least stronger than most full completion experts. A partial resurrection. Lin Moyu's burning of obsession, then, was a direct assault on its roots. Furthermore, with the core's seeking ring on Lin Moyu's hand, the beast saw him as its mortal enemy. It meant to kill Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu was waiting for this moment. This karma needs closure. The power left by the core's seeking ring in the pure land must be reclaimed, including that in the desolate zone. When I saw the desolate zone, the ring trembled. Now I know part of its power remains trapped there. If I can recover it, the ring will grow much stronger. Given that, Lin Moyu would not miss this chance. The divine water beast was just an obstacle to be slain. Roars echoed. The beast strode through torrential rain, as if trying to douse the world-devouring fire. But it severely underestimated the fire. It blazed ever hotter against the deluge. Lin Moyu pointed, "Explode." With a thunderous blast, the fire burst out, its range increasing 100-fold to envelop every obsession in sight. Its power surged, burning up the obsessions whose screams filled the air. No more games. Lin Moyu pushed the fire to full force for total annihilation. Obsession was never meant to endure. The beast snarled, dashing at Lin Moyu, water swirling about it. "You should finally perish," Lin Moyu snapped, jabbing out, "Corpse explosion." Chapter 4437, Not Dead Yet. With thunderous explosions, the chaos divine water beast screamed in agony. The explosions came in waves. The chunk of chaos, corpse flesh, contained blood and flesh from at least 5 full completion experts, allowing for 5 successive blasts. Picture 5 full completion experts detonating in its body. Unless the beast was at peak strength, it couldn't withstand the devastation. Now it couldn't. After holding off 4 blasts, it was completely obliterated. Its hard-won body, having been condensed through faith, shattered instantly and fell from the sky, merging with the chaos divine water. The rain stopped, and a vast lake of chaos divine water pooled below. Seizing the chance, Lin Moyu unleashed further world-devouring fire at maximum intensity. He wasn't about to leave any chances. If any remnant of the beast's will remained, he aimed to eradicate it completely. He had plenty of experience in exterminating by fire. The world-devouring fire seeped into the chaos divine water fire within water, oddly harmonious. With the beast gone, the residual obsessions grew weaker and were soon burned away, vanishing. All that was left was for Lin Moyu to burn the entire core region with world-devouring fire and wipe out all stray obsessions. Plus, he'd gather sufficient chaos divine water for himself. The mighty beast had fallen so easily that the assembled full completion experts were stunned. They were amazed at Lin Moyu's power. The beast had been above any of them, and yet it had been dispatched so simply. How could someone who seemed like a low-level chaos cultivator possess such skills? Furthermore, the beast was the region's totemic divine beast. Seeing it killed provoked a strange blend of shock and anger in these local cultivators. Had they understood Lin Moyu's killing methods, they'd have attacked already, but now only hostility and unease circulated between them. A few exchanged murderous glances. This man killed the Chaos Divine Water, beast unforgivable. Kill him and use his flesh to nourish the Pure Land. He's after the Chaos Divine Water, too so brazen. Abruptly, their words ceased, their faces shifted to terror. A terrifying aura erupted from Lin Moyu, pressing down on them like shackles. A supreme. No, a quasi-supreme. This guy is a quasi-supreme. Lin Moyu's eyes were cold before his pressure. The full completion experts dared not meet his gaze. None had expected this seemingly minor chaos cultivator to be a quasi-supreme. No wonder he could slay the beast so easily. A quasi-supreme was a whole other level, marked by the honorific title Supreme, not comparable to anyone short of that rank. To challenge a quasi-supreme, they would need a supreme to intervene. Mere full completion experts stood no chance. Leave! His voice thundered, and the cultivators fled at once. Whatever vengeance they'd imagined could be left to others, their lives mattered more. The desire to survive grows with age and power. To take on a quasi-supreme required a supreme's intervention. They couldn't compare. With the crowd gone, Lin Moyu's aura was withdrawn again. Chaos Child laughed. Master, you scared them silly. Lin Moyu had borrowed Yi Yangyan's aura, though he couldn't fight. Releasing his pressure was no problem. By killing the divine water beast and then revealing quasi-supreme might, Lin Moyu fulfilled his plan. With the onlookers gone, everything grew quiet except for the roaring world devouring fire. The obsessions had almost all burned away, and the fire expanded in all directions, devouring everything above and below. Little Tree plunged his roots into the lake, devouring Chaos Divine Water. Chaos Child's inner world remained open, steadily absorbing as well, though always far less efficiently than Little Tree. Lin Moyu observed his increasing rebirth count with a smile. Far away, Supreme Xingqun watched the entire episode. He actually has a quasi-supreme protector. Supreme Boyang shook his head. His protector didn't intervene. Xingqun asked, then what was that? Boyang chuckled, beats me, go ask him yourself. Xingqun wouldn't. Boyang wasn't lying, he really didn't know. Boyang went on, perhaps it's his luck. When Catastrophe set up his scheme, many unpredictable factors appeared. Fate's flow brings constant surprises. Requesting flowers. Xingqun said, so you and White Boy have to correct those deviations. Boyang shook his head. Small details we can change, but the grand arc stays put most of the time. We don't interfere. Lin Moyu hadn't just fooled the full completion experts. Even the supreme figures were deceived. He continued burning obsessions in countless ages. They'd burrowed deep, pervading even below the surface of the Pure Land. Luckily, world-devouring fire was pervasive. Not even the soil of the Pure Land could restrain it. But the deeper Lin Moyu burned, the stranger things became. The obsessions should decrease with depth from the surface, yet the opposite was true. It was as if the source of obsession lay underground. Could it be the beast isn't really dead? The thought hit Lin Moyu. It wasn't impossible. The Chaos Divine Water beast had once been a top-tier existence, even more formidable than many supreme beings in its time. With such power, it would have always looked for survival options, perhaps many of them. As world-devouring fire pressed deeper, Lin Moyu paid close attention to every returning thread of information. The obsession thickened. He was getting close to the truth. Suddenly, a piercing cry rang up from under the Pure Land. The shriek was so sharp it nearly made Lin Moyu collapse. Master, watch out. The beast isn't dead. Little Tree and Chaos Child cried in alarm. Lin Moyu reacted almost instinctively, withdrawing his fire, though it was already too late. Chaos Divine Water exploded upward, forming clouds in the sky and pouring down in torrents. Not only was the core region affected, even the inner region was inundated. Countless cultivators were dissolved by the rain, fleeing as they screamed. Just this one event would claim untold lives. But Lin Moyu didn't have time to worry about that. In the sky, the terror of the chaos divine water beast emerged once more. It hadn't died at all. Chapter 44:38, Dao descends. The sudden appearance of the spectral figure made it clear to all that the chaos divine water beast was not dead. It roared in the void, its terrifying pressure rippling across the West Pole pure land. The earth in the central region split open, terrible forces surging from underground. A colossal soul flame rose from the fissures. Lin Moyu had only seen such a size a few times in his life. The last was the Chaos Desolation Beast. Suddenly Lin Moyu understood. At the same time, deep in his own soul, he heard both Little Tree and Chaos Child yell, "Master, be careful, he's coming." Then in his ear, a familiar voice spoke, "Conceal your aura, play dead." Lin Moyu's heart leapt. It was the green-robed elder, unmistakably. He instantly suppressed his aura, becoming as lifeless as a corpse. Little Tree and Chaos Child did the same and feigned death. The massive pressure of the Pure Land crashed down on Lin Moyu. He endured with difficulty, his flesh cracking, but he had no choice. He had to hold on. By now he knew who was arriving. Only one being could terrify both Little Tree and Chaos Child, and merit a personal warning from the green-robed elder. From the far void, a gargantuan eye opened, reflecting the entire West Pole Pure Land. Time froze, space itself halted. Lin Moyu could not move his body at all, only his soul consciousness retained freedom. Everything in the Pure Land was shackled. Lin Moyu's body no longer suffered the world's crushing pressure. In fact, he felt a little relief. The recently revived, awe-inspiring Chaos Divine Water Beast now revealed terror in its eyes. It struggled, its soul flame jittering violently, but to no effect. With the suppression of that eye, escape was impossible. A beam of light shot from the eye and blasted down onto the Pure Land. "What the hell?" Lin Moyu cursed as devastation rained down. The attack, though aimed at the Chaos Divine Water Beast, also snared all living things in the West Pole Pure Land. Regardless of realm, even full completion experts at this moment, all treated equally. This was the true meaning of the Tao is impartial, only the method was cruel. Lin Moyu watched his own body and soul dissolve in the light. Then, violet light flickered. He did everything to delay his rebirth. 2 seconds later, the violet light pulsed and he reformed. The first thing he did after rebirth was look toward the void. The eye was gone. Tao came quickly and left, just as fast, perhaps 1 or 2 seconds total. But in that time, the event. The Pure Land became hushed, as if much life had vanished. The Chaos Divine Water Beast was utterly erased. Almost all the attack had focused on it. Even in perfect health, it could not have survived a strike from Tao. Long ago, before Tao obtained that wondrous flower, Tao surpassed it now, even more so. It was reborn for mere seconds, then annihilated completely. Countless others perished with it. Tao mercilessness was starkly revealed in less than a 2-second span. Using his undead eye, Lin Moyu glimpsed a few soul flames drifting. Some full completion experts had survived Tao. True target was not them, so they only endured the aftershocks. Paying a heavy price, they managed to live. Almost everyone else was not so fortunate. In Lin Moyu's soul, Chaos Child muttered, "Scared me to death, he's terrifying." Little Tree added, "He's even stronger than before." Chaos Child replied, "Of course the flower's his now, he's advanced. If I'd gotten it, I'd be this strong too." Little Tree snorted, "Stop talking nonsense before he hears us." Chaos Child jumped and fell silent. After that blow, the Pure Land's pressure vanished and began slowly to recover. Little Tree stretched out a branch, using time-space power to shield Lin Moyu. The chaos, divine water surrounding them had been utterly scattered by Tao. Lin Moyu flew into the air, surveying the land. The earth was shattered and scarred, a single blow nearly breaking the Pure Land. From some cracks, chaos divine water was already starting to seep. So long as the Pure Land persisted, it would replenish itself in time. Above a gigantic pit, the spot where the beast had emerged, also the site of Dao's attack, Lin Moyu hovered. The pit's surface was polished smooth, as a mirror, the handiwork of Dao. No trace of the beast remained, completely erased, not even a whiff. But Lin Moyu, fully aware after the ordeal, now understood everything. For survival, the beast once triggered the Pure Land's latent power and repaired the broken world. In doing so, it split itself apart, leaving a portion of blood and flesh deep beneath the earth. Its lingering resentment seeped from that blood, growing into obsession. Hence, the deeper, the denser. The beast was always born from the West Pole Pure Land. Relying on its power, it left a final sliver of hope and strove to return. To repair the West Pole with its own power was a bid to become a totem and reap faith. With time, faith increased, and combined with the Pure Land's resources, let it revive. But to come fully back, it needed much more, and always split some strength off into avatars to appear in the world and gather more belief, while its true self hid and recovered. Not very clever or self-aware, but still shrewd enough to realize it must keep a low profile, else disaster would follow. But with its avatar slain, its obsession destroyed, and its faith supply cut off by Supreme Zinquan, its plans failed. Mad hatred took hold, it emerged, was discovered, and Dao descended, erasing it with overwhelming force. And not just it, countless lives in the Pure Land perished with it. At the pit's bottom, Lin Moyu found uncountable cracks stretching away. This was where Dao's attack had landed. All Lin Moyu had felt was the faintest aftershock. Even now, dread energy still billowed faintly there. Guided by intuition, Lin Moyu selected one fissure and entered it. Felt like the center of Dao power. Little Tree's roots extended ahead to scout. He wandered a month, never seeing sunlight, seemingly with no end. At last, one day, the cause-seeking ring began to hum. Chapter 4439, Me, a Supreme, Useless as Trash. With the humming of the cause-seeking ring, Lin Moyu knew he was close and heading in the right direction. Since the Chaos Divine Water Beast had already been exposed, there was no hiding from Dao. In the border desolation region, trapped by karmic power, there was the Beast of Resentment, viewed by Dao as another avatar of the Chaos Divine Water Beast. It would not be spared either. A single strike to kill the main beast, then the shockwaves would fan out, destroying all obsessions in the earth and targeting the Resentment Beast in the desolation region. Following the residual trail of power through the strongest fissure, Lin Moyu finally emerged from the core and surfaced in the desolation region. He feared no misstep. The desolation was a ring. Any direction circled the West Pole Pure Land and led to the end point. As the cause-seeking ring vibrated ever more strongly, he burst from a crack into a canyon. This had once been a desolate fog-shrouded zone, but after Dao's strike, the mist was utterly gone. He saw the shattered karmic chains. This was exactly where the resentment encounter had happened. That avatar was gone, fully annihilated. Lin Moyu raised the cause-seeking ring, activating it. Effect without cause. All that is mine in the West Pole Pure Land returned to the cause-seeking ring. He had sown fate. The only way to use the ring was to plant a fruit. He braced himself for backlash, but a surprise. This time there was none. The fruit immediately succeeded. The ring soared up, radiating multicolored light. The whole canyon blazed. Patterns in the ravines gleamed into view. If you looked closely, those lines teemed with arcane runes, echoing the ring's own script. Dao's strength was overwhelming, but it had not targeted this canyon, leaving it perfectly preserved. The patterns now floated up and poured into the cause-seeking ring, whose power swelled ever stronger. At the same moment, a memory appeared in Lin Moyu's mind. In a vast void, the cause-seeking ring grew gigantic and fell to earth. That earth was the ancient West Pole Pure Land. The ring struck it, opening a tremendous pit. At that time, the Chaos Divine Water Beast was within the Pure Land, struck terribly by the ring in that instant. Part of its soul was seized and imprisoned by karmic might. The beast, at its end, tried desperately to reclaim its soul, but only managed a piece. The fragment the ring imprisoned was mostly resentment, so the impact on the main soul was limited. Still, here was proof. The cause-seeking ring surpassed the Chaos Divine Water Beast. A portion of the ring's power remained, locking the resentment here until now. This memory brought truth, but no particular use. The ring itself survived, its soul erased. The beast, mortally wounded, strove to revive, resurrected for barely 2 seconds before being annihilated. Both losers, there's little point in rehashing their failures. Now, with the ring in Lin Moyu's hand, the goal was to wield it wisely and strengthen himself. The stronger the ring, the weaker the backlash, the fewer his deaths for the same result. This meant he could dare to plant bigger, wilder fruits, though not too crazy, or he'd die anyway. He now had a sense of the ring's limit. He could never surpass Tao, only just edge past the ceiling of the Tao, roughly to quasi-supreme level. As the glow faded and all its lost power returned, Lin Moyu put away the ring and flew out of the canyon, returning toward the center. The desolation region was now gone. The inner and outer rings were joined. The canyon itself would vanish soon. Tao blow had shattered even the core's membrane. Now anyone entering would face the full pressure from the edge. According to Lin Moyu's estimation, even the Pale Realm would be needed to cross the new boundary. In ancient times, the Pure Land had always been one piece, only now would it return to such unity. It would remain a holy land for cultivation, just with a higher threshold. On his way, he saw not a soul after Tao's attack. Almost all inside had perished, only a few elite survivors remained. Lin Moyu felt no sentimentality. Such is the world of cultivators. One never knows whether accident or tomorrow will come first. The Pure Land, now ruined, would remain sacred ground, but would need 1,000 years to heal. All these changes took less than 2 seconds. In Little Tree's epoch, such an event would have been trifling. Little Tree remarked, "It's miraculous the Pure Land survived so long. There must be more secrets yet." Lin Moyu replied, "If so, they're for the future me to discover." He knew his own limits. If Tao hadn't intervened, facing the half-resurrected beast would have been a daunting challenge. Even burning all his corpse meat, he might not have prevailed. And if corpse explosion failed, trouble would follow. He wouldn't want to expose the Calamity Scepter, and even Yi Yangyan's presence might be nothing. He realized the gap between himself and the truly supreme beings. Even 1,000 techniques sometimes offer no escape. Catastrophe Supreme had warned, don't rely on artifacts in the face of Tao. Foreign objects might not save your life. This lesson made Lin Moyu all the more determined to become truly strong. In the void outside the Pure Land, Supreme Zinquan's face looked dark. "There's nothing I can do." He spoke with suppressed rage, body trembling, deadly aura roiling. Supreme Boyang, in a blue robe, answered, "Yes, nothing. Even as Supremes, before him we're as children." Zinquan's voice was icy. "A Supreme like me is just trash." Boyang replied, "Who is? We all went through this." Catastrophe paid a heavy price for his resistance. After a long silence, Zinquan sighed. "I misjudged. The beast had already revived beneath the Pure Land, nearly whole." Boyang said, "That doesn't matter. Even fully revived, he'd make no waves. After this, do you think our arrangement was wrong?" Xingqin stayed silent. That silence was deafening. Chapter 44:40. The Birth of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu returned to the central region. The membrane barrier had been shattered. Never to reappear, he now judged boundaries by the pressure alone. The West Pole Pure Land's ability to recover was even stronger than he'd guessed. Streams of chaos, divine water, kept gushing from cracks, collecting into puddles in places. So long as the Pure Land itself endured, chaos divine water would never run dry. Little Tree eagerly began absorbing and devouring. This time, the chaos divine water is better than before. Chaos Child also absorbed as he commented, "Yeah, last time had too many impurities, now it's much purer." Before, the chaos divine water had always been tainted with some obsession from the divine water beast. It was no longer pure. Now, with the beast gone, each new drop was pristine. This was truly chaos divine water. Its uses were many, for refining pills, forging, and comprehending the Tao. Though the Pure Land had suffered, in the long run, it might be a blessing in disguise. Such is the way of heaven. Good and ill ride together, never alone. Lin Moyu's number of rebirths soared again, growing still faster. Little Tree's aura also strengthened. Chaos divine water not only benefited him, but his chaos soil as well, strengthening him from the root. With every drop absorbed, Lin Moyu's presence echoed wherever the water gathered. He guided the flow, drawing ever closer to the grand array left by Catastrophe Supreme. Though Dao's earlier strike had been overwhelming, Lin Moyu believed Catastrophe Supreme's formation could withstand it. At worst, it would be damaged, but not destroyed. Having controlled several such arrays, Lin Moyu had come to understand their structure and depth. He realized if Dao hadn't descended, and if blowing up his own corpse didn't kill the beast, his last resort would have been to flee into the array to use it as a weapon. Now, approaching the formation's location, he could sense it ever more clearly. Dong! A crisp sound echoed, vibrating directly to his soul. At the same moment, Lin Moyu felt the whole Pure Land quake. Ahem! He looked ahead in surprise. A lake glowed red at its center, red light pulsating, the source of the sound. Lin Moyu perceived a strand of vitality. His death eye saw a soul flame floating within. "Suck it dry," he commanded. Little Tree and Chaos Child rushed to drain the lake. The moment Little Tree tried a sip, he exclaimed, "This lake isn't ordinary." Chaos Child shouted, "It's just too pure to even be chaos divine water." Little Tree added, "If the old water was chaos divine water, this must be the essence." Lin Moyu pressed for more. "Aside from purity, what else is different?" Sensing deeply, Little Tree replied, "Beside incredible purity, there's a surge of vitality." Chaos Child suddenly realized, "I get it. This is where chaos divine water beasts are born. Now that the beast is dead, the Pure Land is birthing new life. The divine water beast was once birthed here, but none since. Once the beast died, the Pure Land could try again." What exactly is this Pure Land? Lin Moyu wondered aloud. The ability to birth top-level beings and host countless cultivators, and the divine water beast once used its power to heal the land. It was clearly far more than just a cultivation ground. Neither Little Tree nor Chaos Child knew its true origins. It had just always existed. They drained the lake, revealing a pulsing heart within the red light. Lin Moyu approached, stretched a hand through the glow, but paused. His intuition and death eye raised no danger. Confirming this, he laid his hand on the heart. With a soft pop, the heart burst, releasing countless blood threads into his body. Lin Moyu did nothing to resist. He sensed the blood was harmless, perhaps even beneficial. The eerie blood ran cold, forming icy blossoms on his skin. Inside, it coursed through his body, then penetrated his soul. His eyes shone with spirit. After the initial chill, a deep comfort filled him. Wherever the blood passed, his body's strength rose clearly. Even his soul grew stronger, as if the fundamental transformation of rebirth itself was repeated. His realm remained unchanged, but his power grew tremendously now. As a mere minor chaos cultivator, he matched or surpassed any great completion expert both body and soul. As his strength grew, the range of his methods increased. After all, the might of a spell is tied both to one's realm and to one's innate strength. The same spell, in the hands of two equal realm cultivators, still varies because raw power is real, if elusive. As the blood circulated, further chaos divine water continued to wash over him. Its usual dissolving power seemed gone. Instead, wave after wave of vitality poured in, forging his foundation anew. Mori memories surfaced, memories of the West Pole Pure Land itself. He saw the Pure Land as a colossal, flawless jewel adrift in chaos. Within, legions of chaos divine water flowed, and 10 mighty beings arose from its depths. The divine water beast was born gifted, able to wield all chaos divine water, strong in every way, yet in an age of monsters, merely average. As the Pure Land's firstborn, it claimed the land as its domain. Later, the land attempted to birth more life. Each time, the water beast devoured any that appeared, growing ever stronger and unrivaled. With its endless desire, it sought to dominate the Pure Land. Over years, it achieved much, though never full control. Then a battle erupted. The beast was wounded. His blood hid in the land, forcing the land to repair itself, tapping deep into its root in hopes of resurrection. For eons, the Pure Land languished, unable to birth more life. Only now, with the beast slain and its power returned, could the land truly heal and nurture again. The heart in the glowing lake had been this new life, but Lin Moyu had absorbed it before it formed. Thus, the Pure Land had made him its new child. Chapter 44-41, The Birth Mother of Heaven and Earth. When Lin Moyu realized his current state, he truly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The West Pole Pure Land now treated him as its own offspring. Through a twist of fate, he'd gained a new mother. He felt a growing affection toward the Pure Land, swelling from the depths of his soul. After producing the Chaos Divine Water Beast, the Pure Land had tried many times to birth more beings. This drive was seemingly part of its mission, but each time, the beast devoured the new life at the verge of emergence. For the Pure Land, this was as if its child was murdered again and again, and the killer was also its child. Fortunately, the Pure Land lacked a true intellect, otherwise, it would have been racked with grief and despair. Still, a trace of instinct warned the land to stop birthing new life. Then, after the Great War, when the Divine Water Beast was severely wounded, the Pure Land's full power was roused. It even sacrificed its essence to save the beast's life, dragging itself to the brink of ruin. For ages, the Pure Land was so damaged it could not birth any more beings. Only when the beast met its end, and Tao destroyed it, did all the essence and lingering power finally return to the Pure Land. Despite severe wounds, the Pure Land's state was now better than before, and so it began to nurture new life once more. However, before the young spirit could truly form, Lin Moyu absorbed it, resulting in the land accepting Lin Moyu as its own child. Yet there was another cause for Lin Moyu's complex emotions. As his bond with the land deepened, he learned that the so-called Chaos Divine Water was in fact the amniotic fluid used by the Pure Land to nurture new life. Its dissolving properties protected against impurities, ensuring every child was strong and pure. The Pure Land, he discovered, was also known as Heaven and Earth Birth Mother. This knowledge was unique to Lin Moyu. Even the greatest of supremes were unaware. Perhaps the Divine Water Beast knew, but it never used this aspect properly. The true function of the Birth Mother was not simply producing food for the beast, but harmonizing and transforming life, adapting it to new realms, a kind of secondary birth. This secondary birth required refining the birth mother, but even the beast never managed the right method. Devouring the offspring only built a shallow connection, not true mastery. Lin Moyu pondered a solution. With a wave of his hand, he said, "Let's begin." With most of the chaos divine water in the lake consumed, Lin Moyu decided to put his method to the test. If it succeeded, he'd have an endless supply in future. Chaos child whined, "Let me have a bit more." Little Tree bundled him up. "Stop hollering, listen to the master." With wings of chaos unfurled, Lin Moyu shot toward the true center of the Pure Land. Even now, he kept the name West Pole Pure Land. Knowledge of the birth mother was his secret. He wasn't yet the region's owner. Once he conquered it, he could call it whatever he wished. Catastrophe Supreme had placed his grand array at the exact center, though that spot was not the essence, as the beast had hoarded it. As the Pure Land healed, approaching the center meant ever-increasing pressure. Only Supremes or Quasi-Supremes could stand it. Now Lin Moyu was treated as a native child. He moved as if at home, unobstructed. After just a few days, Lin Moyu reached his goal. The true central region, the grand array itself. Here it looked just like anywhere else, with a lake full of chaos divine water. Previously there been more, but Dao Strike had destroyed most. What remained was newly regenerated and less abundant. The array sat in the lake. Lin Moyu dove right in, free of fear. Engulfed by chaos divine water, he felt as if returning to his mother's womb. Its chill now felt warm. At the bottom, Lin Moyu found a hair-thin crack, only a few centimeters long, inconspicuous and easily missed. Just like the arrays he had seen in the primeval wasteland, Catastrophe Supreme had sealed this one with his private chaos sigil. Only solving the sigil opened the array. Brute force from a Supreme would cause a deadly self-destruction, powerful enough to threaten even them. Thus, Supreme Zinquan had said, even peers could not break in. For Lin Moyu, though the sigil was easily unsealed, he had done it several times. It used to be tricky inside chaos divine water. Now it was easy. He painted the sigil in the water. Chaos water dragons circled him, pure power flowing into his work. Now Lin Moyu, too, could wield chaos divine water as the beast once did. A complex sigil was quickly inscribed. It shot into the crack, which boomed open to reveal the grand array. A thin membrane enveloped the array, isolating it from the chaos divine water. The membrane itself was covered in miniature vortices, constantly drawing in more chaos divine water. The dissolving trait of the water was perfectly neutralized. Catastrophe Supreme's skill was truly unfathomable. After careful observation, Lin Moyu crafted another sigil. With practiced ease, he entered the array. Within, wisps of mist essence of chaos divine water were filtered, absorbed, and gathered, partly powering the array, partly stored for future use. After countless ages, the array had amassed an incalculable reserve. Even Lin Moyu could only say it was astonishing. He walked deeper, then crafted yet another sigil to unlock the true core. Chapter 44-42, The Amnesiac Catastrophe Supreme. The Catastrophe Supreme's grand array was still divided into inner and outer layers. Only by entering the true core could the whole form be seen. In the core stood another statue. Spatial power surged within, dividing the area into independent vaults. Each vault held stores of essence, refined from chaos divine water. Chaos divine water's power originated with the West Pole Pure Land. What Catastrophe Supreme refined was, in truth, the land's own force. As the birth mother of heaven and earth, it was a supreme treasure of creation, a source capable of birthing chaos, divine water beasts. It could even withstand Dao attacks without destroying its foundation. Now Lin Moyu truly felt the magnitude of this power, already beyond the Dao of chaos, nearly touching the fourth tier. He was sure the Pure Land's power exceeded that of Little Tree or Chaos Child. each just barely above the third tier of Tao. Tao's own force, after obtaining the wondrous flower, clearly reached the fourth tier. Catastrophe Supreme's division of power was essentially flawless. Thus, the Pure Land's power, collected for ages in this array, waited to be triggered. Lin Moyu looked at the statue in the core. This faceless statue showed no reaction, unlike previous experiences, where it would always greet him as he entered. But now, sensing closely, Lin Moyu found Catastrophe Supreme's will was absent. Has it dissipated, or was it never here? He hovered close, examining the statue. It lacked a face, but its gaze fixed on one spot, a roiling mass of chaos, divine water essence shimmered in the air. Unlike other still, suspended essence, this blob was constantly boiling. Activating the Death Eye, Lin Moyu saw within two soul flames, a pair long locked in struggle, both now faded to near nothing. If they kept at it much longer, both would vanish before 10,000 years passed. One was instantly familiar. It was the very soul of Catastrophe Supreme. He had left a fragment of his spirit here, locked in a battle to the death with another soul. Lin Moyu didn't wait, he stepped in, ready to help Catastrophe Supreme, not needing a reason. He would always stand on that side. In his palm, world-devouring fire appeared now even fiercer after burning through so many of the divine water beast's obsessions. At once, the two clashing souls froze. In that instant, Catastrophe Supreme's voice sounded in his mind, "Burn it, don't let it escape." Before the words finished, the second soul erupted and tried to flee. Bangs, bangs, bang. Invisible barriers sprouted in the void each time the soul tried to go. It slammed into a wall. Catastrophe Supreme steered the formation's spatial powers, pennying it in. Lin Moyu swept his hand, sending the world-devouring fire roaring after it. The soul, knowing the flame's terror, ran faster. Catastrophe Supreme kept steering the prison, channeling the burn. Space folded into a cage. The fire consumed everything inside. There were agonized screams. The soul fought a losing battle, finally reduced to ashes. Catastrophe Supreme's soul heaved a long sigh. At last, it's done. He returned to the statue. For the first time, the faceless figure moved. Lin Moyu asked, "What was that thing?" Catastrophe Supreme answered, "Some essence of chaos divine water developed its own will. Lucky you came, otherwise it might have escaped into any nearby blob of essence, becoming impossible to catch. I've been fighting it for ages and never managed to kill it. Every time, it escaped again. If you'd come a little later, we'd both be gone together." Fitting his temperament, the Supreme would have chosen mutual destruction if defeat was inevitable. But now, even as things stood, his soul fragment was nearly gone. Finishing his explanation, he sighed again. "Well, you're here, so I'll be going." Lin Moyu asked, "Don't you have anything you want to tell me?" The remnant paused. "Maybe I did once, but after all those years of fighting, my will faded, and I forgot everything." Lin Moyu truly hadn't expected that answer. But thinking it over, it made sense. So much of the spirit had been spent battling, its only purpose left either to warn or to support the array. After so long, memory loss was natural. Yet Lin Moyu understood the past, and the mission clearly now. Whatever the Supreme had forgotten no longer mattered. He said, "If that's how it is, then go. There are those waiting for you." The Supreme replied, "Good luck, I'll be off now." The statue shifted, making a grating noise. Then, just as it was about to vanish, it froze. Space didn't twist, no portal opened. Lin Moyu asked, "Did you just remember something?" From within the statue, the voice answered, "I forgot where I was going. Let me try to remember." Lin Moyu smacked his forehead. Even that memory had faded. The Supreme tried and tried, finally without results. Lin Moyu conjured an image, a vision of the statue walking away. In the image, primordial wasteland energy flickered, Watching, the Supreme's eyes brightened. I remember. Space instantly distorted, a portal opened, and without another word, the Supreme stepped through. Lin Moyu watched him leave. From the aura in the portal, it led to the right place. Whenever the portal opened, not just primeval energy, but a very unique aura lingered. Lin Moyu didn't understand its meaning, but felt confident it was right. Now, with the Supreme gone, it was time to truly refine the array. The countless stores of Chaos Divine Water Essence had produced sentience while the Supreme watched. That was okay. Now it was on Lin Moyu. Unable to stand guard forever, he chose the simplest, most final solution. Once the array was refined, every vault, even the core, fell to Lin Moyu's command. With one wave, world-devouring fire swept through every chamber. If he couldn't sort them, he'd burn them all, ensuring nothing remained. Chapter 44-43, Little Tree, Keep Working. No matter if the Chaos Divine Water had gained sentience or not, Lin Moyu used the world-devouring fire to burn everything to nothing. It was a simple and brutal method, but extremely effective. With the grand array refined, every part was now under Lin Moyu's control. The world-devouring fire reached every corner, making sure no trace of spiritual will remained. The flames burned for over 10 days, and Lin Moyu made certain that no conscious will or soul lingered. Even if new sentience could form again, it would take tens of thousands of years to appear. He also set up a monitoring array, guarding all the Chaos Divine Water Essence. If anything unusual happened, he would instantly know. The work went smoothly. When finished, Lin Moyu clapped his hands. Now for the true business. A rare excitement stirred within him. He knew just how great the rewards of this task would be if he succeeded. With a thought, Lin Moyu left the array not upwards, but down toward the depths beneath the West Pole Pure Land. The earth, impossibly hard, parted easily before him, as if making way for its own child. For the Pure Land, Lin Moyu was still its true offspring. He kept moving deeper, no idea how far he'd gone, following only his sense of direction. Gradually, pressure built against both body and soul. Even he, as the Pure Land's child, could not escape its weight. But pressure meant he was on the right track. "We are almost there, Little Tree." On cue, Little Tree erupted with space-time power, sharing the strain. Even so, Little Tree couldn't absorb all the pressure, he could only ease part of it. Chaos Child added his inner world, damping the force too, but not as effectively. Lin Moyu's own identity spared him some pain, but the remainder he handled personally. In the end, Lin Moyu was subjected to about a tenth of normal pressure, which was still too much for a mere minor chaos cultivator. As he pressed on, cracks started appearing across his body and soul. Seconds later, with a sharp snap, both broke apart. A flash of violet, and Lin Moyu was reborn, but even freshly restored, cracks immediately reappeared. The strain here was simply too much. Staying any longer meant instant collapse, and there was still distance to go. "This is my limit." Lin Moyu retreated slightly. With less pressure, his cracks began to heal. He knew his level could go no further. He could not advance by his own strength. He'd expected this, though. With a turn, he drew out the core's seeking ring and infused it with soul force to sow a fruit. Effect without cause. Now, for a time, nothing could harm him, not attacks, not pressure, not anything at all. The backlash struck. Lin Moyu broke apart again, but soon revived in violet light. He muttered, "The backlash isn't as strong as before." This happened many times. Each time he died, he returned. The core's seeking ring was stronger now, having absorbed residual power earlier. This meant stronger fruit with less backlash. But everything has limits. Even the freshest fruit wouldn't let him ignore Dao's attack. If Dao struck, every resurrection would fail. The Pure Land was formidable, an ancient treasure, even surpassing the ring at times, but still not as strong as Tao. Besides, the pressure here was nothing personal, it was simply the land's presence. So Lin Moyu knew the fruit would work, and he wouldn't die endlessly. He felt the backlash again and again, dying each time and reviving, always analyzing the changes. After 10 deaths, the effect started to diminish. By the 16th, backlash was gone. The ring truly had grown stronger, just as Lin Moyu's flesh and soul had. Now he could withstand much more and die far fewer times in pursuit of a goal. This let him estimate just how much risk he could take and how many times resurrection would be needed for further growth. He pondered if there was a better way than the ring to make use of the resurrection power. As the last backlash faded, the ring glowed and buzzed. A hidden force wrapped Lin Moyu tight, shielding him. He felt a connection to something marvelous, an energetic region that extended protection like an ocean all around him, absorbing all external pressure. No more help from Little Tree or Chaos Child was needed here. Lin Moyu was unharmed. Under the new fruit's protection, he pressed on toward his goal. The strain melted away, the magic of the ring turning it to softness as he delved deeper. He felt more and more connected to his destination. Since he'd become the Pure Land's born child by accident, a thread had always drawn him toward the real heart. It was the core the Chaos Divine Water yearned for, but never managed to reach. If he succeeded, Lin Moyu believed he'd be the only one in the entire ancient wasteland to do so. Deeper and deeper he went, until more pressure rose. The ring buzzed crazily, its protection still holding, but barely. He knew he was pushing up against the ring's own limits. If he passed beyond, the fruit would fail. He would die instantly and endlessly, his infinite rebirths quickly drained. Was it worth the risk to go further? He hesitated. He could hurry onward, since the goal was near, but if he exceeded the ring's limit, he'd be doomed. He could plant another fruit, but that wouldn't change the ring's fundamental boundary. Or he could retreat and play it safe, though that would mean total defeat. Orders. Little Tree, keep working. Chapter 44:44, The Mother of All Waters. Little Tree, despite barely having any rest, was called out once again to work. He used his space-time powers to help Lin Moyu bear the crushing pressure. With Little Tree's help, the tremors of the core's seeking ring were noticeably lessened. Lin Moyu decided to go forward. He was gambling that before hitting the next limit, he could reach his goal. All the while, his eyes shone. He'd come up with a method to perfectly use his rebirths to strengthen his flesh and soul, with total control and no danger. Step by step, he pressed closer to the Pure Land's true core. Little Tree was at his absolute limit. The core's seeking ring never stopped vibrating. Just a bit further, just a little further. Chaos Child, you help too, Lin Moyu called, gritting his teeth, determined not to fail after coming so far. Though Chaos Child's help was limited, every little bit helped. The closer Lin Moyu came, the more his body and soul neared collapse, and so did his resolve. If he faltered here, he would die, no exceptions. But retreat was not an option. After coming this far, he could not turn back. He thought, if I give up now, would I stand against Tao in the future? The only way to win is to move forward. He had boarded Catastrophe Supreme's ship, or more accurately, he was fated to ride it since birth. All that remained was to see it through to the end. He believed in himself. He believed he would win this gamble. Step by relentless step, he marched on, never turning back. Finally, as the last layer of earth opened before him, a blue glow shone into his eyes, and Lin Moyu's face broke into a smile of joy. Blue light filled his sight, its radiance washing over him, every pressure falling away like a receding tide. We've arrived. Lin Moyu let out a breath of deep relief. He had reached the true core of the West Pole Pure Land, a place even the Chaos Divine Water Beast had never accessed, a place in the entire chaotic wasteland that only he had ever reached. The core was vast, boundless a sea of void, awash in azure water light. Blue chaos divine water, little tree blurted in shock, but then shook his head. No, not chaos divine water, this is higher, stronger. Chaos child exclaimed, heavens, there's something higher than chaos divine water. Master, what is this water? Lin Moyu answered, heaven and earth mother water. At the core of the heaven and earth birth mother, the true name of the pure land, resided the single greatest water in existence, the mother water. Chaos divine water was simply this mother water, diluted and cultivated by the pure land. Even the purest ancestral water could not compare. Lin Moyu continued, the birth mother's power comes from this water. Without it, there would be no such thing as the birth mother. Could we drain it all? Chaos child blurted. Lin Moyu shook his head. Even a single drop would destroy your inner world, if not outright kill you. Little tree extended a root, forming a clone with his own powers. Even as a mere clone, it retained all his attributes, including space-time might. The clone reached out, cautiously touching a droplet of mother water. Instantly, blue light spread over its entire form. The clone dissolved like melting ice, vanishing without a sound. Chaos child shuddered, gone, just like that. He knew how tough Little Tree's clone was. If it vanished so utterly, he'd stand no chance either. Little Tree said, the dissolving powers here are magnitudes above chaos, divine water. Lin Moyu agreed, right. The mother water can nurture all things and is the purest existence, surpassing even chaos child's purified water. Its power of purification is beyond the limits of any Tao. Anything within Tao is dissolved by it. Little Tree asked, Master, did you come here to refine this water? Lin Moyu chuckled, that's the idea, but I'm not strong enough, at least, not yet. Then why did you come? Chaos child pressed. For a reason, get Yi Yangyan out, Lin Moyu replied. Chaos child hesitated. Yi Yangyan was a quasi-supreme from his own world, and setting foot in the chaos would draw Dao's attention and bring disaster. But Lin Moyu explained, here, everything is hidden by the mother water, even Dao can't see us here. The chaos divine water beast had hidden for years by draining the core energies here, but those energies were mere condensed chaos water, not true mother water. Within this place, nothing they did would be noticed. Still, Chaos Child was afraid, but Little Tree snapped, when Master says do something, just do it, stop dithering. HMPH, fat tree, Chaos Child muttered, but did as he was told. Yi Yangyan, exuding his quasi-supreme aura, stepped out, but his energy faded almost immediately, erased by the mother water as if he'd never existed. He gaped at the sight. Master, what is this? Lin Moyu said, something very good. Instead of explaining further, he moved to act. Space-warped, Lin Moyu manipulated the mother water using his mastery of chaos divine water. At his will, the edge of the blue water twisted and shifted, and a tiny drop, humming with terrifying power, was drawn out. He split the drop into 2, then 4, then 8, until he had 100 portions. Chaos Child, give me some purified water, he commanded. Chaos Child produced a ball of purified water. Lin Moyu fused 1/100th of a drop of mother water into it. Instantly, the water turned a deep blue. Purified water was famed for cleansing anything, but in the presence of mother water, it was itself purified, overwhelmed by its superior essence. Handing the blue water to Yi Yangyan, Lin Moyu ordered, don't move. A blue mist coated Yi Yangyan instantly. Chapter 44-45, Awaken the Power of Bloodlines. Watching Yi Yangyan enveloped by the blue mist, a glint of sharpness flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes. Just now, Yi Yangyan's gaze had flashed with a hint of resistance. But as a revived follower, once he heard Lin Moyu's command, that resistance was forcibly suppressed, and he ultimately stood his ground. A quasi-supreme follower with self-awareness is good, having a rebellious will, however, is not. Yi Yangyan hid his opposing thoughts well, likely plotting ways to break Lin Moyu's control. But on the surface, He showed nothing because if he did, he'd be crushed. Lin Moyu held complete power over his followers' lives. If he truly wanted Yi Yangyan dead, he wouldn't survive. Yi Yangyan knew this. Until he found a way to break free, he would comply, perhaps only expressing occasional independent thought to seem normal. Not even Chaos Child was aware of this subtle game. At present, Chaos Child still hadn't fully regained his former might, so the Supremes and Quasi-Supremes in his inner world were not entirely under his control. But for now, Yi Yangyan's entire aura was thoroughly masked by the blue mist, and Lin Moyu's gaze changed, becoming both sharper and subtly more amused. Little Tree noticed, "Master, what's going on?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "Nothing, I'll tell you later. Zyro Peng, come out." Summoned, Zyro Peng barely, at the half-step Chaos Realm, immediately shrank his giant body down to less than a meter, curling up like a snake and trembling with his wings wrapped tightly around him. Just the presence of the heavenly Mother Water filled him with terror. Even knowing Lin Moyu was nearby, guaranteeing his safety, Zyro Peng could not suppress the deep-seated fear in his blood and soul. Teeth chattering, he barely managed to stammer, "Father, what is this place? It's terrifying." Lin Moyu smiled. "It's a good place. Keep still, you'll get something good soon." Much more obedient than Yi Yangyan, Zyro Peng fought his own fear and kept completely still, shivering with effort. Lin Moyu continued dividing the heavenly Mother Water. A single drop was split 100 times, but even a tenth for Zyro Peng was still too potent. He divided it again and again, finally into 10,000 parts so tiny as to be almost invisible, sensed only by the soul. After splitting, he asked Little Tree, "Little Tree, give me some chaos soil." Little Tree directly produced a chunk of chaos soil, the size of a fingernail, precious, indeed, requiring at least 100 years to cultivate such a piece. Lin Moyu combined the minuscule Mother Water with the chaos soil, and the fragment glowed blue, radiating terrifying vitality. The soil already contained immense life, and now that was multiplied 10,000-fold, so much so it seemed it might gain sentience at any moment. Little Tree was amazed. "Master, what's going on?" Lin Moyu replied, "Heavenly Mother Water doesn't just dissolve all things, it can fuse with treasures to create new ones. I've merged it with the chaos soil to form a treasure bursting with life. It's not useful for you, but it's valuable for Zyro Peng. It will stimulate his bloodline and sharpen its potential." With a flick, the new chaos soil exploded into mist and covered Zyro Peng. Zyro Peng let out a dragon's roar, a mix of ecstasy and pain. Lin Moyu smiled. "Bear with it, nothing comes free in this world. Any gain has a price." As his bloodline was prodded, Zyro Peng's bloodline force multiplied, and his aura soared, breaking rapidly toward the Chaos Realm. Judging by the current pace, it wouldn't be long. Little Tree looked at Yi Yangyan. "What about him?" Lin Moyu said, "I used Heavenly Mother Water fused with purified water to alter some of its properties, stripping Yi Yangyan of the inner world aura from Chaos Child. Now the Mother Water lets Yi Yangyan blend with the very air of chaos, making him invisible. He'll be able to fight in the chaos now, as long as he's careful not to draw attention. If we were in the primeval wilds, he could use his full power without attracting Dao at all. I promised Yi Yangyan to help him pass on the Yi bloodline in the world, and with the Heavenly Mother Water, it's a sure thing." Little Tree understood completely. This Heavenly Mother Water is truly wondrous, and its uses surely aren't limited to this. Lin Moyu caught the deeper meaning. "Don't worry, it won't get out of hand." He now had the Heavenly Mother Water under total control, woven into Yi Yangyan's body and soul. It ensured Yi Yangyan would never break free. If Lin Moyu wished, he could even erase his follower's self completely. Whether that would ever be necessary depended on Yi Yangyan's future behavior. Minutes later, Zyro Peng broke into the Chaos Realm, his bloodline still raging and growing even stronger. Chaos Kunpeng bloodline is impressive, no wonder it once dared to challenge supremes. There's power behind the arrogance. Lin Moyu understood that his technique's benefit depended largely on Xiao Peng's bloodline itself. Weak blood meant a small gain. Little Tree recalled, "We had no Chaos Kunpeng back then, there was a golden-winged Peng, incredibly strong." Chaos Child muttered, "If memory serves, that guy died horribly hunted by hundreds on his level, torn apart afterwards. His true form was vast, spanning millions of miles, even larger than the Pure Land. His body was torn to pieces, flesh scattered everywhere. Some said the smell of blood haunted the chaos for ages. That was the Golden Wing's blood." Chaos Child interjected, "That's probably a tall tale. Chaos was a killing field, blood everywhere. Not all of it was his." Little Tree didn't argue, just said, "You're right." Who knew what he really believed? Lin Moyu mused, "Are you saying Xiao Peng might possess Golden Wing blood?" Little Tree answered, "It's possible, we'll see as he grows stronger." Meanwhile, Xiao Peng's aura soared ever higher, bloodline strength billowing an endless surge, constantly lifting his realm and power. Chapter 44-46, Golden Winged Peng. Xiao Peng's bloodline power was still surging, and Yi Yangyan's purification and fusion were likewise ongoing. Both processes needed time. Lin Moyu kept busy as well. He took out some earth along his way here. He'd brought ample soil from the West Pole Pure Land. At the core of the Pure Land is the Heaven and Earth Mother Water. Chaos Divine Water is produced when this Mother Water seeps into the Pure Land and evolves. As long as Mother Water exists, Chaos Divine Water will appear endlessly. A single drop of Mother Water can be transformed into a vast amount of Chaos Divine Water. That entire previous lake was probably but 1,000th of a drop. He used the soil to build a square pool 100 meters per side and mixed in divided portions of Mother Water. Shortly, pure Chaos Divine Water pooled inside. The formation of Chaos Divine Water was rapid. Before long, the pool brimmed with it. "Go ahead and drink," Lin Moyu told them. Little Tree and Chaos Child immediately dove in, greedily absorbing the water. Lin Moyu kept making pools with more soil, infusing more Mother Water to evolve more Chaos Divine Water. He'd collected plenty of earth and built 3 pools, enough to satisfy the 2 of them. Most of the Mother Water got used up, but whenever it ran low, he extracted and split out another drop. Some of the split portions went to Yi Yangyan, others evolved into Chaos Divine Water, and the weakest, 36 parts were reserved for Xiao Peng. At that moment, Lin Moyu felt like a true family head, an oddly pleasant feeling. After 10 days, Xiao Peng's bloodline power erupted a second time, surging him into the great completion stage of the Chaos Realm. Lin Moyu's surprise wasn't at Xiao Peng's breakthrough, such a bloodline almost guaranteed such a feat, but rather at an ancient, noble aura that was awakened during the bloodline's second surge. Formerly hidden deep, it now surfaced under the stimulation of the Mother Water. Little Tree marveled, "It really is Golden-Winged Peng." Chaos Child echoed, "It is, but the blood is thin, who knows how diluted it's become." Little Tree said, "That's to be expected. When he died, his blood flooded half of Chaos, much of it eaten or absorbed by others. But now, with the Mother Water, Xiao Peng's bloodline might someday return to its source." Chaos Child muttered, "Bloodline return, unless he's got a death wish. If he did, that old guy would come kill him instantly." Little Tree shook his head. "Of course not a total return. I mean in terms of power he'll still be Xiao Peng, not strictly Golden-Winged Peng. If he develops well, he could become quasi-supreme." Chaos Child questioned, "You mean by inheriting the old Peng's power?" Little Tree replied, "I saw him fight once the Golden-Winged Peng's greatest strength was speed. If Xiao Peng inherits that, surpassing Dao in speed, quasi-supreme status isn't out of reach." Chaos Child sighed, "He really was insanely fast." Intrigued, Lin Moyu asked, "How fast was the golden-winged peng?" Chaos Child said, "Ask Fat Tree, I never witnessed it myself." Little Tree answered, "His speed." The golden-winged peng was so fast that he roamed free through chaos. Even if defeated in battle, none could catch him. In the end, over 100 peak experts had to join forces, setting countless traps and using supreme treasures just to kill him. His quickness was so extreme, he could even outrun the response of a conscious ancient formation. Once, a living formation housed a priceless treasure. The golden-winged peng darted in, seized the treasure, and escaped before the formation or its spirit reacted. By the time they noticed, he was long gone. This was so beyond normal speed it bordered on the absurd, outrageous, was the only way to describe it. Thanks to such speed, he could almost never be bested one-on-one. He even borrowed many treasures from other strong beings, eventually igniting widespread vendetta. Over 100 top-tier experts joined together, using several supreme treasures to finally subdue and kill him. The golden-winged peng perished long before the Chaos Wars truly erupted, an early and tragic end. Now the ancient blood in Zyro Peng was being awakened, empowering him more than ever, and he had received the greatest fortune. This time, his combat power now exceeded Lin Moyu's by level. Yet he still wasn't at the limit. His power continued growing, possibly approaching perfection. Whether or not he would finish the journey to fullness was anyone's guess. Modern chaos beings need the aid of domain power to achieve perfection. Ancient beings didn't, they were born perfect, even transcending perfection. Back then, strength, not just realm, was what mattered. In Little Tree's opinion, even if Zyro Peng never reached perfection, his fighting power could still match it. 100 days flew by. Little Tree and Chaos Child kept absorbing Chaos Divine Water as if they could never be sated. By now, Lin Moyu had extracted and divided 10 whole drops of Mother Water, transforming them into Chaos Divine Water, vast as an ocean, all consumed by the pair. Yi Yangyan's purification and fusion was nearly complete. His aura shifted, still quasi-supreme, but now more in harmony with chaos and missing the influence of Chaos Child's inner world. With his fusion complete, he'd be able to act freely throughout the chaos, drawing no attention as long as he didn't fight at full power. In the ancient wasteland, there'd be no limitations at all. This upgrade greatly increased Lin Moyu's forces. Zyro Peng, now at the peak of great completion, was only a step from perfection. The golden-winged Peng bloodline was now fully awake and merging with his own. Once the fusion finished, he'd gain full access to the golden-winged Peng's abilities, a process that would still take time and could only be minimally sped up by outside force. After several dozen more days, Yi Yangyan's purification and fusion was at last complete. With his soul fully cleansed, he kneeled respectfully before Lin Moyu. Yi Yangyan greets Master. Now his soul was so thoroughly purified that every last trace of defiance was gone. Though his self-awareness remained, he would obey Lin Moyu's every command. Chapter 44-47, Master, go die without worry. Lin Moyu's voice was calm. Rise, from now on serve me with peace of mind. Whatever I promised, I'll make happen. Only then did Yi Yangyan slowly stand. Understood, my lord, your command is my vow unto death. It was only after this purification and integration that Lin Moyu fully gained control of Yi Yangyan, the Quasi-Supreme. The Quasi-Supremes of Chaos Child's inner world were weaker than those from the primeval Chaos Wasteland, but still far above the level of a perfected one. A few days later, the blue mist around Zyro Peng finally dissipated. He opened his golden eyes, and the wings on his back had turned golden as well. His form had changed entirely. Gone was anything snake-like. The python was gone, leaving only the peng. The blood of the golden-winged peng was merging with his own, taking the dominant position. The Chaos Solitary Peng was a fusion of the golden-winged Peng bloodline and that of a serpent. part Peng, part Pythons, but they favored calling themselves Peng, hence the name Chaos Solitary Peng. The name had always been a little misleading, but now that the golden-winged blood was awakening, driving out the serpentine ancestry, Zyro Peng fit the title at last. He truly was solitary, now the only Peng in all primeval chaos, with awakened golden-winged Peng blood, utterly unique and alone. Lin Moyu asked, "How do you feel?" Zyro Peng replied, "Very good. Why is my power so much greater, and why do I look?" Thanks to his golden-winged blood, Zyro Peng not only grew stronger, but nobler, such that even here, he was no longer afraid. Lin Moyu placed a hand atop his head. "Don't move, I'll check." Zyro Peng sat still for examination. Lin Moyu's spiritual sense swept into his soul, now gleaming with golden purity, all remnants of the old Supreme's curse gone. Even a Supreme's curse was wiped away by the revived golden-winged blood. Clearly, in ancient times, the golden-winged Peng rivaled or surpassed the Supremes. After checking, Lin Moyu confirmed, "Your curse has been lifted." Zyro Peng's eyes shone with golden light. "Really, my race is finally free." Lin Moyu shook his head. "You are free, your race no. Feel within your bloodline the answer is there." With the golden-winged blood awakened, it now held vast inherited knowledge. A little focus let Zyro Peng understand everything. He was disappointed. The memories of his kin weighed heavy, and their greatest mission had always been to break that curse. Now, that mission and that race had vanished. After reviewing the legacy in his blood, his expression shifted. Now he understood. In a subdued tone, "We are truly the descendants of the golden-winged Peng. The ancestral blood is so potent, it's overwritten mine, I can't remember much of the past. Even the ancestors' memories are mostly gone, except a single cultivation art and one technique." Lin Moyu replied, "Your old blood was full of impurities. It was natural for the golden-winged Pengs to wash it out, along with the memories. The ancestor left no stories behind because he didn't want future generations to repeat his mistakes. By erasing karmic entanglements, he was protecting those who'd follow. But mark this, you are not your people. You are the only one. There will never be another golden-winged Peng. Your job now is to train, let your blood return to its roots, and become the true golden-winged Peng." Zyro Peng nodded. "I understand." He felt a pang but accepted his fate. Some things once changed cannot be unchanged. One must accept and move on. His heart was steady. He knew what he had to do. Lin Moyu turned to the two others. "Have you two eaten your fill yet?" They'd been gorging themselves on Chaos Divine Water for days. At first, it had obvious effects. Chaos Child's inner world grew clearly stronger, but in recent days, that progress had plateaued. Changes faded, a sure sign he'd reached his limit. But he kept drinking, as if in competition with Little Tree. It was much the same for Little Tree. The fastest increase in rebirths came at the start, now it was nearly halted. In the past 10 days, the increase was all but gone. The limit had been reached. Now his rebirth tally stood at 50,000, over 10 times more than when he entered the Pure Land. As the divine water was absorbed, Little Tree himself underwent strange changes. The water fused into the chaos soil, which shone with new life and even a faint blue light. Now hearing Lin Moyu's question, Little Tree stopped. "Master, I feel as if with a bit more strength, I could absorb the mother water directly." Lin Moyu replied, "You're right, but not yet. I'll prepare some for you later." Little Tree understood. To get much stronger now would bring Tao. He'd then have to hide inside, forever step outside, and instant doom. Lin Moyu once again added mother water to a pool, filled it with chaos divine water, and stored it up. "You've all gotten your share, now it's my turn." Little Tree perked up. "How will you do it?" "Simple, I sow a fruit. Once I've died enough, activate the cause-seeking ring. You two then help shield me from the strain. Hopefully you won't even need to help. By then, I might be strong enough on my own. I'll keep watch, replied Little Tree. Go die without worry, Master will handle the rest, said Chaos Child with odd cheer. Lin Moyu ignored him, then activated the ring. Effect without cause. With a thought, he began sowing his fruit. After dying 10,000 times, I want 10 minutes without harm from the outside world. The power of the ring was in making wishes. If you dreamed it, it made it real. Backlash surged, Lin Moyu's body shattered. This was an artful sowing, asking just 10 minutes. Protection needed only a little causal power, meaning the backlash was less. After just 5 deaths, the backlash faded, the ring sparkled, the wish accomplished. Lin Moyu exited the core through his original entry point. Not even a 10,000th of a second later, body and soul broke apart again. Chapter 44-48, Life and Death, See It Lightly. The closer to the heart of the West Pole Pure Land, the more crushing the pressure became. Approaching the heaven and earth mother water, it peaked. Before, Lin Moyu had only barely made it to this place, with the combined strength of the cause seeking Ring, Little Tree, and Chaos Child. Now, without any preparations, he couldn't endure even a 10,000th of a second. The pressure obliterated both body and soul in an instant. This didn't surprise him in the least. If it didn't kill him, that would have been strange. Amidst violet light, he began a new cycle of resurrection. Before he could even fully revive, he was crushed again. Again and again, one resurrection, one death, as time trickled by in cycles of life and death. He kept count of his deaths. Though body and soul were smashed to dust, his awareness always remained wholly clear. He could even, in a detached, third-person view, see himself die, an uncanny, indescribable sensation. After 500 deaths, his flesh and spirit suddenly grew a bit stronger. Under such pressure, although he still shattered each time, he knew he was growing stronger. So it's just as before. If resurrection happens continuously more than 500 times, both body and soul advance in essence. Every 100 deaths after that brings another 1% increase. Don't know if there's a limit. He had resolved, ever since conceiving this approach, to push and discover that limit. Without raising his realm, he wanted to toughen body and spirit to the very extreme. Then, when his realm did rise, his strength would be nearly unmatchable. Much like his ancient world training of his body then, it was through the power of the Tao of Force, repeatedly breaking and rebuilding the body, eventually gaining immunity and growing ever tougher. Now rebirth itself became the means. Each resurrection made body and soul stronger, a method even more direct and fundamental. Life and death kept cycling. At death number 600, again his fundamentals advanced. Throughout, Lin Moyu kept his heart unmoved, no joy, no sadness, watching the changes as a calm observer. Rebirth remained steady, about once per second. 10,000 resurrections would take several hours, each cycle increasing body and soul nearly 1% after 96 cycles. For a nearly 100% increase, both would double in essence. His calculations weren't exact, but they would be close. Even before, his soul and flesh had been very strong. 10 prior refinements at the Chaos realm had put him far above his peers. Now, doubled again, he felt few, even at the great completion of Chaos, could match him. Perhaps only some innate freaks might be close, in specialized aspects. As flesh and soul toughened, at 3,000 deaths, he noticed the pressure weakened its effect. Now he could endure 2 10,000ths of a second, double the time before. That tiny increase was a qualitative leap. This showed that his instincts were right. He was much stronger now. The pain of each death had long since faded, now little different from an itch. Any fear had simply vanished. Instead, there was only excitement at the slow river of progress, feeling Tao heart honed ever more sharply. The process continued relentlessly. Strength trickled and gathered into a mighty river, eventually an ocean. Masters getting stronger. Even Little Tree could feel it. and was delighted Lin Moyu's growth meant he, too, might someday stand unveiled in chaos, recapturing or even surpassing his ancient glory. Chaos Child was just as elated. At the end of 10,000 resurrections, Lin Moyu could now withstand 1,000th of a second before destruction 10 times better than his start, his body and soul each twice as tough. If this continued, he felt he'd soon be able to move freely in such a place. A feat no ordinary great completion expert, nor even the ancient chaos divine water beast, could manage. Not even the water beast's body could survive such pressure. In its maternal instinct, the heaven and earth birth mother creates conditions only fit for beings it creates. Maybe the chaos bull could handle it, its flesh was legendary. Maybe even a supreme could stay, but it's hard to say. Supremes are perfected in everything, but don't truly surpass all boundaries. After 10,000 deaths, the cause-seeking ring auto-activated, shrouding Lin Moyu and neutralizing the pressure. Go! Little Tree and Chaos Child each moved to share the load, the 10,000th and first rebirth completed at last, and Lin Moyu at last restored. In the next moment, he returned to the core, the mother waters surging everywhere and no pressure oppressing him. He carefully felt the changes. His realm had risen a bit, but truly what had changed was the doubling of his core physical and spiritual essence. If before his soul and body were like wood, now they were like iron. Even compared in terms of raw power, he felt more than 5 times stronger. He even suspected that his flesh might now rival or exceed most great completion chaos cultivators, perhaps even matching the perfected state. Zyro Peng, come test this out, he called Zyro Peng, the two comparing pure bodily force. One punch. Zyro Peng brought down a golden wing. There was a massive boom. Lin Moyu was thrown back for 100 miles, Zyro Peng hundreds more, squawking in shock. The impact cracked the local space. Though it looked like Lin Moyu lost, Zyro Peng stood at great completion just shy of perfection, and with his awakened golden-winged blood, his bodily force was off the charts, greater than most perfects. What mattered more was, Lin Moyu took no damage at all. Defense over offense, if even a great completion's best hit couldn't hurt him, his safety was massively increased. With this confirmed, he activated the cause-seeking ring, planted a new fruit. Effect without cause. This time, he set it for 30,000 deaths, after which he'd gained temporary immunity again. Backlash came and body and soul broke, but with their newfound strength, the pain lasted only 2 deaths before vanishing. With the ring empowered, Lin Moyu set out again, ready to enjoy the pleasure of dying. Chapter 44-49, A Terrifying Aura. Death after death, rebirth after rebirth, Lin Moyu's body and soul gradually strengthened. The pressure's effect on him grew less each time, from holding on for just a 10,000th of a second in the beginning to now withstanding 1,000th, then 100th of a second. Every time his body and soul doubled in strength, the time he could endure multiplied tenfold. Similarly, every such strengthening multiplied his offense and defense by more than 10. There was a clear proportional link. By the time he had died 20,000 times, his body was over 4 times as strong as when he started, and he could now survive almost a 10th of a second under the pressure. He couldn't fully assess how strong he'd become, but knew he far surpassed little strong. As his rebirths accumulated, the boost from each doubled, making the final increases astonishing. When he hit 25,000 deaths, his body was 7 times stronger than at the start, and he could now endure nearly a full second of the crushing power of the Pure Land's core. A second was long enough for him to recover and attack several times. This timing also approached the limit for continuous rebirth. If he took longer than a second to die and revive, the cycle would break and no further strengthening would occur. Continuous, rapid rebirth was essential for the gains, and as the base strength rose, the efficacy and requirements increased. If he grew much stronger, even the Pure Land's pressure might not suffice for further growth. At that point, he would need to create a new, extremely difficult fruit, using the cause-seeking ring to keep the resurrection cycle unbroken. But this carried dire risk. Too weak, it would be useless. Too strong, he could die for real. He knew even the cause-seeking ring had an upper bound. If he ever reached that, its protection would fail. So I'll have to find another place, but ones like the West Pole Pure Land are rare. Instinctively, his mind turned to a location, the deepest part of the ancient wasteland, a site beyond even the Supreme's reach. Strange, I've never been there. He marveled at the feeling. He hadn't even seen the place, only heard Little Tree mention it once. Yet somehow, he felt certain that was where he could take his plans to the next level. The feeling was indescribably odd. Rebirth went on. The Pure Land's pressure slowly faded. It had nearly fulfilled its purpose for Lin Moyu, with only the heaven and earth mother water untouched. It wasn't that he didn't want to refine it, he simply wasn't ready, plus Catastrophe Supreme's array was still needed here. After another 2,000 deaths, the exact total was lost, some 27,000 in all. By now, his body and soul had grown tenfold in strength. Suddenly, the Pure Land's pressure vanished like a receding tide. It hadn't gone, but it no longer affected him. He realized he'd broken through a threshold, a barrier between life and death. A sliver less would mean death, a sliver more, life. Body and soul broke past a membrane, surging to a new level. With resurrection ended, he could freely stand in the deadliest core of the West Pole Pure Land, feeling no harm at all. Boom! The Pure Land thundered. A terrifying aura descended, and Lin Moyu's expression changed as he stepped back into the heaven and earth mother water domain. Blue light writhed, even the mother water twisted in response to the sinister force now present. It's not him. Relief swept Lin Moyu as he probed the aura. It was strong, but not Dao. But then, who could wield such presence? Little Tree was tense. Master, what is going on? Chaos Child shrieked. It's terrifying. Zyro Peng, who'd recently awakened the golden-winged Peng blood and no longer feared the mother water, now quivered in terror again, curled tightly. Lin Moyu said, I have no idea what this aura is, but I'm sure it's not him. Meanwhile, outside, throughout the primeval chaos wasteland, everything panicked as the aura descended over all. Every being at or above the chaos realm felt it clearly. Creatures shuddered, and cultivators in seclusion woke with alarm. What is this? How can it be so terrifying? What's happening to chaos? Such omens are calamities coming. Last time meant a return. Will blood rain begin again? Ancients everywhere shared shocked glances. Soon after, colored clouds appeared, draping chaos in rainbow-like brilliance. Dao severing. Sword light swept the ancient wasteland. Lin Mohan unleashed a mighty swing, making an ancient life form scream and flee, leaving only a severed limb for Lin Mohan to pocket. She didn't pursue, instead sheathed her sword and looked deep into chaos. A white-robed elder arrived, stepping through the air to her side. Lin Mohan's voice rang, fellow Taoist Beizhong, what do you make of it? Supreme Beizhong likewise gazed into the depths. I'd say you look with your eyes. She smiled, still so witty, I'm glad I bet right. Beizhong chuckled, when has the Sword Supreme ever been wrong? Mohan shook her head. I'm not the Sword Supreme, I'm Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu's elder sister. Beizhong grinned, all right, Taoist Lin is never wrong. Indeed, the disturbance is from there. Mohan mused, none of us have ever gone there, only Catastrophe made it to the outskirts and nearly died. If it weren't for that thing he had, maybe he'd have perished. Afterwards, Catastrophe never spoke of it, but I think he saw something unimaginable. All the strategies and plans fell into place after that. I really want to know what's inside. Beizhong nodded. I'm curious too, but I know our place some things aren't meant for us. Then again, once you couldn't, but maybe one day you'll be ready. If Taoist Lin ever learns what lies inside, please enlighten us all." Mohan didn't answer, speaking more to herself. Back then, Catastrophe said if the plan worked, maybe he'd return. I hope he was right. So far, Catastrophe has never failed. Let's hope for the best. "Is your sword ready for more?" She shook her head, not sharp enough yet got to keep sharpening. Chapter 4450, The Seven-Colored Key. A terrifying aura from the deepest reaches of the ancient wasteland arrived, followed by a brilliant glow that blanketed all of chaos. The radiant glow shone everywhere, as if trying to communicate something to the world, but none could understand its message. Except for a select few, no one knew the origin of this radiance and the dreadful aura. Only the strongest knew of the ancient wasteland's depths. Most perfected cultivators didn't even realize such a place existed. There were too many secrets hidden in the chaos wasteland for anyone, not even Tao, to claim complete understanding. This time, no one knew the reason for the sudden terrifying aura or the glow that flooded chaos, only that both originated from the very deepest part. In that most mysterious, unreachable place, a giant eye emerged and a deep voice echoed, "I personally will go there someday." Inside the heart of the West Pole Pure Land, the same glow covered everything, shattering the blue colors of the heaven and earth mother water. The glow then condensed, forming a single beam that fell upon Lin Moyu. He suddenly heard a whisper in his ear. He couldn't make out the words, but they sounded incredibly familiar, as if he'd heard them somewhere long ago, though no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't remember where. The glow gave Lin Moyu no special feeling. His flesh, soul, and cultivation all felt unchanged. It seemed like the most ordinary light. But then, in his field of vision, a key appeared. Seven-colored light flowed over the key as if it were liquid. He reached out, but his hand passed right through it, was like grasping air. The key did not vanish, it just couldn't be seized. He tried using his spiritual sense, but with the same result. His soul force passed through the key without the slightest resistance. The key was right before his eyes, but felt as if it didn't exist at all. Lin Moyu grew ever more puzzled. At his current level, his soul should easily handle illusions and reality alike. Yet this key was neither real nor illusory. What sort of existence was this? "What is this key?" Lin Moyu muttered. Chaos Child asked, "What key, where?" Lin Moyu was surprised. "There's a key right in front of me, don't you see it?" Chaos Child shook his head, "Nothing at all. Fat Tree, do you see a key?" Little Tree confirmed, "No key." He asked Zyro Peng, still trembling, "Do you see a key?" Zyro Peng shook his head desperately, "No key." Lin Moyu grew even more bewildered. This key was visible only to him, yet still couldn't be touched. Suddenly, Little Tree said, "Master, I feel this glow is from there." Lin Moyu's heart jumped. "You mean the very depths of the ancient wasteland?" Little Tree nodded, "Yes, that's right." Chaos Child chimed in, "I agree, but I have no idea why it came." Lin Moyu muttered, "Just what is at the heart of the ancient wasteland?" Both Little Tree and Chaos Child shook their heads. They had no idea. He knew there was no answer to be had for now, so he turned his focus back to the seven-colored key. The glow and the key had come from the same source. If the radiance was from the ancient wasteland's depths, the key must be linked as well. No one else could see it, so the key was meant only for him. But why give him the key? What connection did the heart of the wasteland have with Lin Moyu, and why now? A possibility arose in Lin Moyu's mind. It might be that his power, the sheer strength of his body and soul, breaking through the limits, had triggered a response from the ancient wasteland. "I'm just at minor completion in the Chaos realm. But after 10 rounds of refinement, my power was already top tier for my stage. Now, with all this strengthening, I'm easily 10 times above my peers. in the same realm. But would just this strength trigger such a reaction? That seems unusual. He knew there were plenty stronger true supremes, the wilderness-born, all were above him. But for now, there was no way to know for sure. With little information, precise analysis was impossible. So he switched tactics and focused on the key itself. Since it was sent right to him, it had to be for him. But it couldn't be taken. Was it always to hang before him like this? He tried several different approaches, none worked. As the prismatic glow faded after several dozen seconds, the dreadful aura ebbed too. The key before Lin Moyu's eyes also faded. He started to panic, as if some priceless treasure was slipping away forever. No, there's got to be a way, I must be missing something. Driven by instinct, his thoughts raced. He mentally scanned for any overlooked detail. With every flash, the seven-colored key dimmed further, nearly vanishing before his eyes. Suddenly, he had an idea, something he hadn't tried. He triggered his storage space, commanding it, store. Since both his body and soul couldn't grip the key, he unleashed the full pull of his storage space, trying to suck the key in. A rift appeared in the void on the other side, was his storage space. A powerful suction acted upon the key, and for the first time the key moved, slowly floating toward the rift. His heart leaped. His storage space was unusual, never based on any artifact, always following him wherever he went, always remaining unharmed, no matter the circumstances. Most cultivators relied on artifacts or domain worlds for storage, but his space was utterly convenient. He, compared before, his storage space was simply in a league of its own. Things put in never aged, living or dead, time was still. Each living being within had its own isolated little space. Most cultivators had similar spaces, but he didn't know if theirs were quite the same. Now, as the seven-colored key was pulled in, the miraculous nature of his storage space became evident again. No sooner had he relaxed than the key, once inside, burst with brilliant light and detonated. Inside the space, a door appeared, the key had unlocked it, and a strange, indescribable aura flowed out from beyond. And that's where this chapter ends. Now, here's my analysis of Catastrophic Necromancer, chapters 4436 to 4450. The Chaos Divine Water Beast was not dead. Lin Moyu's world-burning fire had burned through its obsessions. His corpse explosions had torn its body apart. But deep beneath the West Pole Pure Land, its true self had been hiding, waiting, recovering, plotting. When it emerged, the entire core region shattered. Chaos Divine Water erupted like a tsunami. The beast's soul flame was colossal, second only to the Chaos Desolate Ox itself. Then the eye opened. A single eye, vast beyond measure, reflecting the entire Pure Land. Time froze, space halted. The beast that had terrorized eons looked up and knew true terror. Tao had descended. One strike, less than 2 seconds, the beast was erased. The Pure Land cracked open. Over 100,000 cultivators perished in the aftershock. Lin Moyu survived by playing dead. Little Tree and Chaos Child did the same. When the eye vanished, Lin Moyu rose from the ruins and understood that he had just witnessed the power he would one day have to face. Beneath the shattered Pure Land, Lin Moyu discovered the truth. The West Pole Pure Land was no ordinary place. It was the heaven and earth birthmother, a primordial treasure that could nurture life itself. Chaos Divine Water was its amniotic fluid. The Divine Water Beast was its firstborn, a child that had devoured all its siblings and claimed the land as its own. When Lin Moyu absorbed the heart of a new life, the Pure Land was trying to birth. The land accepted him as its true child. Now he could move freely where even Supremes could not go. The crushing pressure of the core meant nothing to him. He was home. And at the very center, beneath layers of earth that had never been breached, he found it. The heaven and earth Mother Water, the source of all chaos, divine water. A single drop could dissolve anything within the Tao. A single drop could also fuse with treasures to create miracles. Lin Moyu used it to purify Yi Yangyan, his quasi-supreme revenant, stripping away Chaos Child's inner world aura so he could walk freely in chaos without attracting Dao's attention. He used it to awaken Xiao Peng's bloodline, the golden-winged Peng, an ancient horror so fast it could steal treasures from living formations before they could react. And then he used it on himself, 27,000 deaths. Each time the pressure of the Pure Land's core crushed him, each time violet light pulled him back, each time his body and soul grew stronger. At 500 deaths, the first breakthrough, 1% permanent increase, every 100 after that, another percent. By 10,000 deaths, his essence had doubled. By 20,000, quadrupled. By 27,000, he had grown 10 times stronger than when he began. He could now stand in the heart of the Pure Land, where even perfected beings would be crushed and feel nothing at all. Then the aura came. Terrifying, ancient, not Tao, but something else. Something from the deepest part of the ancient wasteland where even supremes feared to tread. A 7-colored key appeared before Lin Moyu's eyes. No one else could see it. No one else could touch it. It was neither real nor illusory, an existence that defied comprehension. The glow faded. The key began to vanish. Lin Moyu's storage space yawned open and sucked the key inside. The key exploded with light. Inside his storage space, a door appeared, a door that had never been there before. The key had unlocked it, and from beyond that door, a strange, indescribable aura began to flow. Not the chaotic Tao, not ancient desolation, something else entirely. Lin Moyu reached out with his soul and felt a presence on the other side, not hostile, not welcoming, simply waiting. "What are you?" he whispered. No answer came, but the door remained, open, waiting. The West Pole Pure Land is shattered. The divine water beast is gone. Lin Moyu has gained a quasi-supreme servant, an awakened golden-winged Peng, and a body 10 times stronger than any minor completion cultivator has a right to possess. But the 7-colored key was not random. The door in his storage space was not an accident. Something in the deepest, ancient wasteland has taken notice of him. The question is not whether Lin Moyu will open that door. The question is, when he does, will he find answers, or something that has been waiting for him since before chaos began? If these revelations about ancient beasts, primordial treasures, and the true power of the heaven and earth birth mother have you hungry for more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for Extreme Highlights audio novels. We bring you the most explosive moments from the novels you love, delivered straight to your ears. New chapters drop daily, so you'll never miss a beat of Lin Moyu's journey. Extreme Highlights audio novels, where stories come alive.